it's me again. I'm going to show you how to pot on any plant, but we're doing tomatoes. And from the last video, I showed you thinning tomatoes, where we were getting rid of one, or if there were more, two plants in a small cell, so that there could be just one plant in each cell, so that it could get bigger and stronger. I'm looking to see if I have any other examples. Here, there are two plants in one cell, so when we thin, we'll get rid of the smaller one. And now what we're doing is taking the baby plant and putting it into a bigger container so that it can get even bigger and stronger before we put it into the ground. You don't need to do this with every kind of plant. We're doing this with tomatoes in particular because they're kind of divas, like they're very fussy. Tomatoes need a lot of love and attention and nurturing. They like all the attention. And we want to give them the best shot of surviving outside, so we're giving them time to get bigger and stronger and bigger and stronger before we put them in the ground outside, where nature will, be rainy and cold and hot and back and forth. So, you saw those little cells. This is a 3-inch pot, and in it is compost. Here we have a bucket of compost, which is different from potting soil because it has a little bit more structure and a lot of nutrients. And I believe this compost comes from our compost, from stuff that we made here. So I filled this up about a third of the way. And now I'm going to take a plant from these smaller cells by just pulling it up. Sorry, it's hard for me to show you with my limited tech skills. And here you see the roots in here. This one doesn't look very root bound, which is a word we use when the roots get very big and sort of knotted around each other. Here's an example of when roots become root bound. So you can see there's so many and they wanted to keep going, but there was nowhere for them to go, which is partially why we're doing this, so that now there's more room for the roots to grow and get strong and help support the rest of the plant. So when the roots are like this, you want to disrupt them a little bit. You want to shake them up so that they know you're free, it's time to keep growing. Otherwise, they'll stay stuck in this shape and they won't spread out and they won't get stronger. So I'm going to disrupt it a little bit, and you'll feel you might be tearing the roots a little bit. That's okay. You don't want to rip off all of them, but a little bit of breakage, it's almost like your muscles, like some tearing can then make room for it to get stronger. And I'm going to put it in here, maybe make a little dent in the middle so there's room. And I'm putting it in here. And then my potting soil is over there, and I'm covering it with potting soil. So there's compost underneath this guy, which gives it the more structured soil for the roots to grow into and around. And that's also going to be like the soil that's outside. So the roots are getting prepared to enter the new environment. And then this topsoil has the right nutritious compounds for brand new plants as opposed to maybe older plants. And potting soil is a bit airy, so they don't get too wet and too basically they don't get too wet and stagnant. And there we go. That's what we call potting on. So we looked at thinning tomatoes, and this is potting on tomatoes. And I think maybe in about a month we can get them into the ground, and I can try to show you a video on how to do that. And now I gotta keep going. Have a good Sunday.